In fact, for us, it has not really changed because we always been focusing on, let's say, very innovative and very disruptive vendors. So I think actually the pandemic has actually helped us in order to promote and create more demand for those technologies, because now digital transformation has massively accelerated, and customers as well as partners were looking for those technologies which we have built over years. So it was not that much that our portfolio has changed, it was more that the situation has changed in our favor for the portfolio which we have. Today we are focusing on high-performance data center solutions, of ITSM solutions, on physical security, which is AI and smart analytics empowered. And all of this business obviously is overarching with cloudification, as we call it. And we have now a very strong focus on adding a lot of AI in order to make all of these solutions even more efficient. Let's say top 5 in there. I mean, it's more of like every vendor has his own specialty, which we obviously driving. It's actually very fragmented for us because, yes, obviously you go into computer vision, you go into free text, email bots, for example. And at the same time, you're even looking at like how you promote storage as a service and trying to offer clients the, let's say, private cloud experience, you know, with all the financial benefits which goes along with it as well. And this is something which we're really promoting at the moment, you know. That's the key area, helping the partners to have solutions in their portfolio which will help them to stand out to what the other players in the market are doing. Staying ahead of the curve, basically. It's all of it. I mean, we introduced some vendors way back, and you know, all flash arrays was like was very weird, and today this is a standard. So yes, we have, let's say, emerging technologies, we have very pioneering solutions in there. I think we have a good blend of all of this, because we obviously are here for the long run. So we need to make sure that, you know, we planting the seeds, you know, for the future business, and being prepared even for eventualities like we saw it with the pandemic, that we suddenly are able to help, let's say, a leading telco in the region in order to expand because their data is just going through the roof, and we need to have a very flexible, quick to deploy solution for them. In fact, we both. I mean, we are definitely very strong on on-prem storage, but then these storage vendors which we're having are even offering, let's say, the cloud experience on-premise for the client. But then we even Alibaba Cloud distributor at the same time. So from the partner ecosystem which we're working with, I can tell you that if you have not transformed your system integration business to become the trusted partner of the end customer, and you have built the relationship in those accounts accordingly, and you are actually an integral part of their digital transformation strategy, you will be out of the market very soon. Just reselling, just entertaining tenders, just, you know, going into a deal when everything has been done will not help you to sustain your business on the long run. What we have seen with our partners, and especially with the portfolio which we are actually dealing with, is that we need to be very upfront. All right, we need to be very proactively working with the accounts. So it's all about channel account mapping, right? We want to know which partner is working with which end customer, and then we will actually build the landscape accordingly so that there are even no channel conflicts, and that everybody gets his fair share. But we're telling even partners like, no, don't go into account ABC because that's looked after by another partner. And I'm sorry, bring us into another account, because that makes sense to maintain margins so that you get even your fair return. And why margin? We don't want to give margins to partners just for them to get rich. No, we want them to have good margins so that they can actually deliver good quality and good projects. And that will obviously multiply with the customer account. You always need to analyze this. For us, it's very important that we understand which partner is strong in which vertical. All right. This is how we actually segment the market, and this is how we're actually making sure that everybody gets his fair share out of it. I'm telling you, if you're selling, let's say, augmented reality solution or AI solution, you can't just like send a mailer and then you expect somebody. No, this needs to be created in an account. Many times, and in the Middle East, probably more than in some of the more mature markets, maybe in Western Europe or in North America, is that the customer himself is maybe not creative enough to understand what he could actually achieve with that solution. So here the trusted advisor, the system integrator, plays actually a major role in order to help people to see what you can achieve. And that's why the system integrator, the SI, needs to be an expert in the domain he's selling into it. He needs to speak the language of healthcare, of BFSI, of logistics, in order to really, let's say, propose something which is meaningful for the customer. Again, we will always be, let's say, ahead of the market in terms of introducing the latest and the greatest. So that's why we're pushing so hard right now on AI solutions, but we're talking about AI for everyday use, not something which is like, you know, too much out of requirements at the moment. We're obviously going to scale our business with more vendor relationships, which we're lining up to, and they will begin again in all of these different segments: high performance data center solutions, ITSM, physical security, cloudification overarching the whole thing, and then obviously AI being used in each of these verticals. Cybersecurity obviously is a big market, and that's something which we even expanding over the next couple of quarters as well. To have, obviously, you need to have the passion for technology, and I think that is a main driver. I mean, you yourself need to like what you do, otherwise you can't be really good in any of this one. But otherwise, yes, you need to make sure you stay healthy and you stay always focused. And obviously, I mean, leadership skills are changing as the team is obviously growing. I mean, we will have very soon like more than 3 legal entities in the region. Obviously, that makes it all a little bit more challenging. And you need to make sure that you remain this direct touch so that your team is actually following the vision of the company and executes on the mission which we're having. And I think this business, we are surrounded by young people. I think even today here on GITEX, we see again how much we enjoy talking to people. Like I enjoy now talking to you and getting inspiration from these kinds of conversations as well. And I think this is what you need to do. You really, truly need to live this. This is not a 9-to-6 job which you're doing. This is something, and I was actually saying this just to a vendor which I was at my stand here, where I said like, look, I couldn't sleep because I had to really digest all the input I got yesterday. And that's why GITEX is very exhausting, but then very inspirational.